Try again.
Better luck next time.
Glory is...
Nice try.
Better luck next time.
Glory is mine.
Try again.
Glory is... Prepare yourself.
Almost got me that time.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now, no need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Oh, what did they do to me?
Let's get our bearings.
Hey, a sheep! Rubbish.
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin. Did you expect a needle?
Junk.
Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle?
Junk.
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring Magister mumbles himself awake. One bloodshot eye opens, and then another.
Is my shift over? Are you here to relieve me? Wait, you're no Magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face. Clever story. I should have known there'd be trouble. So much for a peaceful stroll.
Empty.
No key? No problem.
I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here?
Rubbish.
Empty.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Why? Because we're at sea, of course, and have been for several days.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually.
Good God!
In the meantime, all you need to know is that
been
we're
a
en
murder
route
here.
to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Sauce. For good.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Everything's nothing left to do, really.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
Hands to yourself, bloody sorcerer.
I'll give you that knuckle if you can carry it on.
You look a little bit elfish. Maybe your daddy was an elf.
Picking us off one by one.
My daddy's name is Frida. He's waiting for me at home. I'll go home soon.
You think me mad?
I know you. I heard you sing once. Before.
Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Did you see the body? They ought to let you taste a bit. Maybe you'd find out who done it.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable.
Well, you aren't here on my
I've never
list.
died on anything less than
Scram,
a dozen
eh?
course
We're trying to
dinners,
catch a
and I
killer
don't
here.
intend to do away with the custom.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sub-story somewhere else.
That has the Magister's more concern than your...
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence. An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to this.
Snake eyes.
I'll give you that knuckle.
She chuckles.
One of us will kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip
I
to
bet
the
that's
part
just
where
what they'll look like.
you shut up?
You think me mad?
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
No. I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty.
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
Now, please, run along. I have a world to discuss.
No amount of pestering will get the...
Don't you get saucy
She
with
smiles
me.
contemptuously.
You clearly don't know the first thing about
Just a
swords.
kitten in a corner, aren't we?
It was one of them. I know it.
The lizard looks you up and
put a
down,
knuckle in
like
it?
a
I'm
farmer
trying
would a
to
fetching
concentrate.
horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the
don't
chin,
care about us.
with the intent of
We're like
inspecting
cattle to
your
them.
teeth.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find
Just
prime
skip to
merchandise
the
on a
part where I
squalid little
reassure
ship
you
like
and you
this.
shut up.
Now then, to business.
You think me mad?
You will answer me 3 questions.
Mad?
The first one is this.
Insufferable.
Can you
Surely.
cook?
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister, you faring okay so far?
Never thought you'd end up in prison,
Oh, but to feel the caress of satin on my scarlet skin once more. A most satin. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. The very basics, then. I suppose that's a start. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you can cook, tailor, and groom. Well, that just about settles it. I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad?
My slave, of course. Oh, but I see. Yes, I suppose it must take some time for the full extent of this honor to sink in. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duties once we reach Fort Joy. Now shoo!
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, sir. But we all wear what we wear for a reason. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Never thought you'd end up in prison guard, Vic.
And if she tries to run... Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
Precisely.
What's happening?
No time for chatter. We've got to get out of here.
The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You can't see if he's living or dead. You hear a faint thud, thud, thud. He's alive, but only just.
enters. Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Great God! Something's pounding on the hull!
The marking on the door was painted recently. Judging from its pungent, you press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. It doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen...
I need to get out of here, now! More. Get off this ship!
That means there's
Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time to get the hell out of here.
There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
Never leave someone behind.
God damn it! We need to get off this wreck and quick.
You can walk. Get yourself up the ladder. Wait! Find Woken! Thank God! By the blind grace, what was...
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you.
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy...
He whispers loudly to the other.
Don't just cower there, Rix. Take out your...
Rix grabs his sword, which shakes in the rhythm of his trembling hand. The Magisters look to each other. Then...
Your lies end...
Prepare yourself!
They who are about to triumph.
I've faced worse.
It's my...
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
What a ride. I think I got smacked upside the head by one of those tentacles.
Not telling if there are more ashore, and I doubt that voice will save any of us again.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he? Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so as far as the whole slave business is concerned, let's just forget about it. You may as well have your freedom. Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, What do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? A consciousness. Very good. And the water it may drown in. Life and death. Why not?
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse, I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the seven... I am the Red Prince. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him. Jolly good. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever...
Now, as you're aware, you'll be traveling with a prince. Proper forms of address. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage. Of course, there are other forms of protocol. Later.
A black cat. I like cats, but I wouldn't eat a whole one.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused. The cat's eyes are its eyes clear. The cat's eyes are its eyes.
Hey, lady. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. I never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Never.
Your Godwoken. Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapee.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come.
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, you!
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form...
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think the fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
Listen.
I've spotted something. I don't have the right tool for digging.
One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
Didn't I?
Come on then, Lexi. Pay up.
I find any bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or...
Dear one, help me teach this beast. He must respect.
Respect? Huh. Someone's got to keep this place running. Griff can't do it for free. Why'd you gotta make this so hard?
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you.
The intense-looking man stands beside you against the thugs, shooting you an appraising glance. Burrow looks you both up and down, sizing up your combined threat.
Ah, get out of here. The both of you. You ain't worth the sweat of my brow anyhow.
The elf smiles and bows to you in thanks.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
The man rolls his sleeves back down. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops.
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours. He grips your hand tight as a vice and shakes it, hard.
Good to meet you, lad. Say, you don't look all that busy. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run, and then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place? The usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. Haven't quite worked out the details yet, but I'll wager it'll be no worse than what'll happen if we stay put. 2 heads are better than 1, and when push comes to shove, 4 fists are better than 2, right?
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep more of our blood in. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods back at you.
Right you are. Lead the way.
Prince.
Vara. She ain't coming back.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your bib flew just to this road.
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe. As she catches sight of you, recognition flashes in her terrified eyes. She drops her hands from her throat and starts hyperventilating.
Ben, miss! Ethan! Ben, miss! You killed them! You killed them! He killed them all! Murderer! Keep him away from me! Help! Somebody! Keep him away!
I don't think I
I'd say we're making good progress already, no? Well, I've got a contract to complete. After that, getting the hell out of Fort Misery seems the best option. I figure we track down my inside man, and then we take it from there.
Ifan shrugs off his backpack and reaches into its depths. After rummaging around, he holds out a tattered page to you, upon which you can see a broken wax seal in the shape of a wolf's paw.
Have a read of my contract and find out.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his...
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? I guess. Well, the people... Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. It's better here than inside.
Alice, you maniac.
Brachus Rex, for it is he, stares stonily out to sea. The statue thrums. You feel its power reach into you.
Bad luck to let one of them cross your path.
To any of us here.
So this is Fort Joy.
What a crumbling disaster.
I've got that special shipment he was asking after.
For delivery. Surely you have one.
Scram, snake face. Oh, excuse me.
A little reprieve from the din outside.
Excuse me, never so tired.
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Our kind of few here. We must help each other.
She bows.
I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through. Through the Magisters, through their cure. Thugs, I can stand, but I fear the Magisters. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we know. In the camp, the brute Griff rules. He who gives the bread has the power. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion, but I can think of no finer occasion than this. Thank you.
Ah, you want reunion. Life is lonesome, yes, like we can see the things we lose. It is nothing. Many fragments swirl on my...
I magicked you, you're dead!
I feel him, but I do not see him.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns toward you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Ah, hello. I see you come a long way. I see you come here seeking a great adventure. Do you find it?
She laughs and looks around as though taking in the scenery, though her eyes are still covered.
Many people to meet, many stones to turn. And there is a great joy here, as though the walls and water themselves were made by many smiling gods. Even if we are here under unhappy circumstances, still I feel it.
He falls asleep. To your surprise, the Red Prince lies down and follows suit. The Red Prince pinches the bridge of his nose in apparent irritation before turning his back on the jabbering dreamer. You receive a withering glance.
A deserved bit of sarcasm, I suppose. But though this sting-tailed fellow may be a less than... Turns out I'm being hunted by an enemy I didn't know actually existed. The dreamers, though, they're on my side. And they've visions. Of course it is. But to keep it, I must find a second dream. Bahara is her name, and she resides in the swamplands east of the fort. So...
You know, I could tell you all about swamp dreamers too if I chewed that much Drudene.
Oh, do hold your prickly tongue.
The old dog whimpers sadly, sniffing your... The Magister stares at the ground, unaware of your presence. With a start, she looks up and realizes someone is standing right beside her.
The Divine is dead. The Bishop is all we have left.
I see it before my eyes.
Yes, our Lord Bishop is human. And
Her voice trails to silence, and she
I do wish Alexander would ascend sooner rather than later.
I can tell you, though.
The elf visibly shudders.
There's no time.
Suddenly, your spirit shrinks away in terror. The thing looms. Your hands are suddenly desperate to rip the young elf apart. You want her skin under your nails, her blood in your mouth. You can't
I've got
stop
that
it.
special
The voice
shipment
is
he
too
was
loud.
asking
The
after.
pool is too...
We must hurt you if you hurt us, Losa. It is the only way to wake you up. Do you hear me? Please, you must subdue. Hurt her to save her. It's the only way.
I won't say it again.
The thing within is
Come on,
right.
chap.
Her cold corpse will make you whole again.
Beat
yourself to death.
You must weaken her to help her.
You should be happy for grief.
What did you say?
That's what happened, isn't it?
Bleeding snake.
Now, let's not get nasty. Greet's better off, I'm sure.
Keep her name out your mouth, Alvaro.
Easy now, Hodge. It isn't my fault she's dead. God, the smell.
Hands out your pockets now.
messing with Glyph's roots anyhow?
Is that thing eating corpses?
The creature heaves through lips gummed with human gore.
You. Now, a little query. Where grow... Now, or didn't you hear me? Where grows the yarrow? Die. Ugh! Where does the yarrow grow? Where?
She does not mean what she does. Almost enough. A few more hits.
Your muscles ache. They've been tensed into tight knots. As they relax, you have to catch yourself from falling to your knees. A wave of relief floods over you, followed by a sharp headache.
I am here. So are you. There is nothing to forgive. I know this happens. I see it. I do not stop it. Everything happens as it must. This is not your fault, or mine, or anyone's. Shh. It takes you again. Now I see your triumph, Losa. If you are strong, you survive. If you are weak, it consumes you. If you are weak, it consumes many. Be strong. Please.